I am Brianna Olson, and I'm going to be talking about the Wind Cave. Located north of the Great Plains in South Dakota is the seventh oldest national park in the United States, known as the Wind Cave. The national park is the home of three aspects: the underground wind cave itself, the grasslands above ground, and the wildlife that roam on it. The national park began as a sacred cave that housed the Buffalo Lady. From the beginning, the Sioux tribes were afraid to approach the cave because they thought it was home to a giant. They thought the winds that blew in and out of the mouth of the cave were from the giant's breathing. The myth of the breathing monster was soon to be replaced with the discoveries of something more. The mystery of the Wind Cave was discovered in 1881 by Tom and Jesse Bingham. The entrance to the cave didn't stand out because of its size, but because of the air that was rushing in and out of the hole. After the Wind Cave was discovered by the brothers, there were reports and talk that other people had already discovered the cave. Even though the Bingham brothers' findings were the newest, the evidence they revealed only consisted of 3 miles. The start of the Wind Cave discoveries sparked the interest of many others to begin their own search. J.D. McDonald, in 1890, as a part of the South Dakota Mining Company, was hired as the manager of the Wind Cave and set out to discover the undiscovered. He didn't discover alone, though. His son, Alvin McDonald, came along and recorded what he had found. While these men were searching, they left their signatures and other artifacts along the cave walls. This was the beginning of the history of the Wind Cave and the information we have and can read about today. The Wind Cave has many stories that originated from the Lakota tribes, and they have carried throughout the years. The Bingham brothers, while hunting, heard a whistling noise and followed it to the scene of the small hole. The wind was so powerful that it blew his hat right off his head when he bent down closer to see. These brothers shared their findings with other people, and when they went back, the hat was pulled into the hole. The underground cave with the small windy entrance quickly caught the attention of many. Above the Wind Cave is a grassy prairie where the animals graze. There is a difference between the grasses within the national park because of the amount of moisture that resides there. In the lower, deeper valleys of the prairies, there are tall grasses that are helpful to hide animals from their predators. The tall grass and other plants that nurture here are those that need more hydration to their roots. Down the slopes of the valleys where the moisture and rainfall are less and are unable to stay for long periods of time is where the short grass grows. Finally, the animals that roam around the Wind Cave are what attracted the people long before the Wind Cave was ever truly found. There is a history of different methods to see the different wildlife species who were attracted by the sounds of the wind and by the grasslands in the Wind Cave's park compared to other national parks, such as Custer State Park. Investigation to find animal populations was set up by the Scent Station Survey. From this experiment, the results of all park experiments showed that the dominant animal was the coyote. The Wind Cave National Park totaled 28 coyotes, while Custer State Park tallied 15. Even after data was recorded, there was evidence that the coyotes were and still are regular visitors. Along with the coyotes, there are buffalo that roam freely along the grass, and to this day, the park stands to protect them. Other animals are under the protection of the park guidelines as well, such as Rocky Mountain elk, black-footed ferrets, and pronghorn antelope. Wind Cave National Park has history that goes back generations. From the cave's discovery, there has only been an increasing amount of history to learn. From a small whistling hole, a giant discovery was born, and Wind Cave's great wonder continues to be educated upon with each exploration.